Alright, it's going to be a video on how to make a tank out of only 2 pieces of paper. Alright, start. First off, you need a big old piece of paper. Doesn't really matter what kind. I suggest using a flat surface, but it doesn't really matter. I need some glue of any kind, doesn't matter which. I need a ruler, which is nice, or you can use scissors just for cutting. Really, you just need paper, glue, and scissors. Alright, let's get started here. First things first, take your paper, and you're going to fold it in half. Alright, like I said, first thing, take your paper, and fold it in half, like this. And making sure that your folds are very exact is very important. Then your paper should be like this. Alright. Next step. You're going to take your paper and you're going to fold back these pieces. Like that. And you're going to flip it over to the next side and do the same thing. Right, so now your paper should open up like this. Alright, so after that, you're going to have to take your paper. This step's kind of important because you can mess it up easily. I'm going to take it like this. You're going to take this part here, and you're going to fold it up at an angle to make a triangle. It should look like that. Now this is important. When you fold your second piece back, it should look like that. Not anything else. Unless you can mess it up. Yeah, so you take this piece on the other side, fold it. So now double check your paper, make sure it looks like that. If it doesn't, then you need to go back and rewatch that step. Okay, and the next step is you're going to take your paper and open it up. So it should look like that. Take one section of it and fold it up so it meets halfway. To the other side. Keeps being stupid. I'll flatten that down really good. Now it should look like that. Alright, so for your next step now, what you want to do is take a piece, both of these pieces from here, fold them on down, flat in like that. So it should look like that. And you want to take your ruler, flatten it out, make good creases. Works really well. Now your piece should look like that. Alright, so next up, you want to take this and you want to fold it up to, sorry, you want to take your back side of it, fold it up approximately, shouldn't really matter how far you move it, right about there. So now it should look like that. Next up, we're going to take this part, now you're just going to fold it back upon itself. Smooth it all up good. Now it should look like that, which is pretty darn close to this. Of course, you want to make sure this is a little straight. Next up, once I unfold it a little bit, take a little side piece here, take it, stick it right between here. And then it should fit perfectly in there. And do the same to the other side. That out, push it into there. Doing this part can be a little bit difficult sometimes, but you just gotta work with it. Okay, so after you've gotten that part in, Now, of course, making sure that your folds in the beginning are as close to exact will help you avoid this. Make it look a little bit more like that. Doesn't matter too much though. But for your next step, I want to take your tank and take the very bottom piece of it, right there. I'm going to take your thumb, your finger, stick it behind there, and flatten it out. So it should look like that, which is going to give you your tracks. I'm going to do the same to the other side too. Make sure you get the very bottom flap though, it's very important. Now it looks like that. Pretty cool. You might want to take your thumb or fingers, take it along the bottom, squish it out so it's rounded. When it's rounded, it will look like that. It will be useful for next step. Okay, so this is what we have, so what we want to go. This is what we have. So next we just need the barrel. To make the barrel, we are going to take a piece of paper, and it doesn't really matter how you do it, but the way I like, you take it. I'm going to take my ruler right here. I'm going to press hard, rip a piece. This will give me a good sized piece. Doesn't really matter how you do it. You can cut it halfway, use scissors. But I'm just going to experiment, see what kind of a barrel I'm going to get for this one. So now what you want to do is you want to roll this up to make a barrel. In which case what I do is I take it from the very corner piece here and tuck it in. And making it really small and tight at the beginning will help you a lot. Like your starting might be a little bit like crunchy and it'll just be a soft mush, kind of like that, probably. After you get it going, just keep rolling it. Alright, so after you've rolled it down until you get to about here, you want to fold it up and take a bit of glue and just dab it along there. Doesn't really matter what glue you use. Use glue stick, hot glue. In this case I'm going to be using white glue just because I like it. Gotta take a little bit of that, stick it along there. Of course, the more glue it you have, the better in this case. After you glue it, you're just going to roll it. And simply roll it all the way so it's tight. Just like that. So now, of course, it doesn't really matter how you do it. You can make it so that your barrel doesn't get wider. In that case, I would say don't do the angled fold. Just do it like a paper like that type of thing. And you're going to take your barrel and your tank, and you're going to stick it right into the little hole. So now you'll have a barrel. Position it how you want it. Glue it in. Of course, then you can pull it out a bit too if you wanted, which makes it cool. But what I suggest is using a very big piece of paper, and that way your barrel will probably come up to here. Then you just take scissors and cut it where you want it. And that's that. That, my friend, is how you make a paper tank out of 2 pieces of paper.